Hello again. Today we're going to kind of break into the lock. We're going to pick the lock up here, upper left hand corner, fifth icon in, fifth button, and we're going to break that padlock. Let's see what it does. Okay, I click it and it says startup settings are unlocked. Okay, well, what does that mean? I'll tell you what it means in a minute. Let's go back and click it again. Now we have a choice. Do you want to lock it with the previous settings or the current settings? Well, since we didn't make any changes, either one's going to be the same. We could say previous or current. So you get the idea right away that this is going to reflect what you changed, okay? All right, so let's go back in here. It tells me it's locked. And if you look a little bit over here, I bought a bunch of Hewlett-Packard Advanced Glossy paper at a really good price. So what I did is I set up my default to open with my profile, that paper in the driver, and all the settings are correct, and I'm set to go. If I want to print this picture, all I have to do is say print, because I'm ready to go. Okay, so now let's see what happens if I want to make a little change here because somebody gave me a job to do and they want it on matte paper, okay? So I go into my presets like this and I find Epson Ultra Matte, okay, like that. And I say open and there we are. There's Epson Ultra Matte. You see the profile has changed to Ultra Presentation Matte. And the driver has changed. Everything's changed because that's the way it is in the setup. You can see I've got matte paper selected and so on, so forth. So all these things have changed. Now, what am I pointing out here? I'm saying to you that if this job is going to be 4 prints now and 6 tomorrow morning and so on and so forth, all I have to do really is unlock that. So now when I close my Qimage, okay, like that, and I open my Qimage like that, look what's going to happen. It's going to come up with the same profile, same setup and everything. It's not going to revert back to the glossy. Okay, so you're kind of getting the hang of it. Now, supposing I felt, hey, I like it to open all the time in matte paper with all this setup and the driver and everything else. Well, that's all you have to do is go here and say current. Okay? If I say previous, it's going to go back to the glossy because I made some changes. But let's move on a little bit and show you a few other things before we close this up. Okay, one other thing I want to point out. You notice here I have the Smart Sharpen set to a 10, whereas normally it's a 5. But the matte paper needs just a skinch worth of sharpening. And these numbers have very, very small increments. These 1 through 20 or whatever the heck it is, I don't even know. Yeah, 1 through 20, right. Changing from a 5 to a 6, you won't notice it. 7, you won't notice it. 8, you might begin to see something. So a 5 to a 10 is a very small jump. But nevertheless, the point is that that's built into my printer setups. When I select this paper, it automatically selects the default. Okay, so I'm pointing this out because that's part of what you might save if you change this to be your default. Okay, let's go on a little bit. Now, right now, I have to tell you one of my little hobbies. Okay, one of my little hobbies is to print DVD labels for DVDs that I make for people, friends, relatives, neighbors. I compile music for them, put pictures on there for them, slideshows on there for them, and I make DVD labels and things like that. And I keep a record of what I made, and also sometimes there's so much on it I need to make a text file. So I end up putting a number on here. Now that's a template I made for DVD round labels. Okay, so nevertheless, let's just put something in there anyway. It's not round, but it will suffice for the demonstration. I go in here and I want to put on some floating text. Okay, and you can see the floating text has a number, 3558. That's my next number to use. Okay, now if I put on 3558 this time, what's the next one? The next one obviously is going to be 3559, but if I close this like that, okay, and I close this, either way, if I close it with it locked or unlocked, doesn't make any difference. That number, yeah, I'll show you, that number is going to stay 3558. Okay, we close this and open this. Okay, you see my default went back to the 8x10 glossy. And if I go in here and try to put on a floating text, you'll see it says 3558, but I used that already. I want to change that to 3559. Well, to show you how easy that really is. Okay, well, the first thing we do is we go back here, we say unlock. Okay, now everything is set with the glossy and all that stuff the way I like it, including print placement. I like the optimal space. You guys may like compact. You might like it to open up in various other kind of placements, center, compact, template. You might like it to open up with a preset template. Okay, but that's all up to you. But anyway, all this stuff is there from before. Now all I want to do is fix that number. Okay, so that 3558, okay, we want to make it 3559. So we got it for next time. So there it is, 3559. Okay, I say done. And now I go back to my padlock and I say save current. Now it's saved with the 3559. Everything else is the same, but I was able to change that number. Okay, hang on a second. Okay, now supposing it wasn't the number you wanted to change, but you wanted to change just the placement. Okay, so you go here, you unlock it, and you go here and you say, okay, I'm tired of optimal space, give me compact. Okay, so, and also I want to change my print size. Okay, so I'm going to change it to 4x6. Okay, so I got two things I changed, the print size and the placement. I go up here and I say current. Okay, now when I close Qimage and open Qimage, what do we got? We got compact placement and we got 4x6 automatically. That's my new default. Okay, you're getting the hang of it, I'm sure. Okie dokie. Okay, as you can see, it's not such a mystery. Now, supposing you say, I don't like this. I want to put it back the way it was before. Not a problem. Unlock it. Okay. Go back and put it on optimal spaced. And then we're going to take this off of here and make a new size. Well, I could have left it. Could have done it up there too. As long as we got a new size. Okay. And now we're back the way we were before. And I'm going to say save current because this is different from the previous. Okay, let's close Qimage. And we open Qimage. Okay, and there we are. We're back to the 8x10. We're back to the, what do you call it, optimal spaced. And we're right back where we started from. So it's very flexible, very easy to use. Just don't be afraid of it. You can always put it back the way it was before, and you're all set to go. Okay, we thank you very much for listening and hope you got a little bit from it that you didn't have before. Thank you.